I now get to live the life I want because I changed. Because I stopped healing, and I stopped trying to figure it out, and I stopped trying to understand the whys and the hows, and you know, why everything had to happen, and what was the bigger meaning, what was the karmic implications. I left it all at the door, and I changed. The only thing I really knew how to do was suffer, and that led to multiple autoimmune diseases in my old personality. So there was multiple sclerosis. I spent 3 years in a wheelchair, blind in my left eye, rheumatoid arthritis, bone marrow cancer, not once but twice. Then there was acetylcholine insufficiency syndrome, which was called myasthenia gravis. And I didn't have the resources to attend an event. And I would look at the people online and be like, wow, these people go to this event and they come back changed. I want that, right? But there was no way in my mind at that time to have that. So then I was watching a trial of Gaia TV, and I watched Dr. Joe in Rewired. And it took twice in order for me to start really grasping the concepts. But then when he described myasthenia gravis as double vision, I got triggered and ugly email, you know, you don't know anything about myasthenia gravis, right? But then that triggering was the catalyst for the change. So the next time I watched Rewired, I watched with a different perspective. And then anything I could get my hands on, YouTube, Becoming Supernatural, You Are the Placebo, Rewired. He has done so many interviews on YouTube. I would 3 to 4 hours a day, nothing but Dr. Joe. And then I started buying one meditation at a time off his website, just one. And then after, you know, 6 months, I had several meditations. And so then I would do, you know, 3 to 4 hours of meditation a day with a minimum of 2 hours of the lecture or Rewired, which I've probably seen more than 20 times. And then it just kept growing from there. And then before I knew it, I was actually changing. And that's what I realized the difference was. My whole life I'd spent healing. I healed MS, I healed optic neuritis, I healed the RA, I healed the lupus. But I would heal one disease and immediately get another because I wasn't changing who I was as a person. You know, those genes he talks about? Sure, we could change MS, but the same dysregulated genes that cause MS also cause myasthenia gravis, or also cause rheumatoid arthritis. So I wasn't changing the genes, I was just healing one version of the manifestation of the disease, right? So it was only when I started watching Dr. Joe's stuff that I realized I could actually genetically change. And that's when I started actually changing, and it took a split second. One meditation, I woke up realizing it was no longer about healing, it was about changing. And from that moment on, everything was different. And so I became more mobile. I've lost 155 pounds in 8 months. I have moved from Oklahoma to Los Angeles. I have, I manifested coming to Cancun. My husband has a traumatic brain injury, which was another part of our story for another day, but we were chosen as a recipients for the Give to Give Foundation. So all I can say is you don't have to go to a retreat. You don't have to. I didn't. I manifested this after my change. All you have to do is be willing to change. And he gives you a very specific formula and a very specific blueprint that will help you change your life in an instant.